What modern-day technologies did Nikola Tesla predict back in 1901? How quickly can you cook a pizza on the scorching surface of Venus? How did the American flag get a B grade? Want to know the oldest and youngest women to ever give birth? Stick around for these mind-blowing facts and more in this episode of You Don't Know. What's the longest you've had to hold your bladder before being able to relieve yourself? Well, it's nothing compared to the wood frog, who can hold its pee for up to 8 months. No matter which app you use to get around, the GPS it's built on is owned and controlled by the US government and can be switched off at any time. So it might be a good idea to have a map handy just in case. Honeybees are smarter than you might think. They communicate by dancing and moving their abdomen. And just like humans, bees in different areas speak in different languages. Giraffes are huge, so it makes sense that in order to circulate their blood, they have the highest blood pressure in the entire animal kingdom. The Andes Mountains make up the longest mountain range in the world. They stretch for 4,400 miles along the west coast of South America from Chile to Venezuela.
In the dawn of first light, the sun dance of daylight.
Robert G. Heft designed the current 50-star American flag for a school project when he was only 17. Rumor has it that his teacher only gave his design a B, but they came to an agreement that if it was selected as the new flag, that grade would be changed to an A. His design was chosen out of more than 1,500 designs sent to President Eisenhower. Chocolate is incredibly tasty, but did you know that even the smell of chocolate can be beneficial? It increases theta brainwaves, which help you to relax. Computers are becoming more widely available, accessible, and affordable each year. Because of that, more and more people are learning to be hackers. So much so that one statistic says that there is a hacker attack every 39 seconds. Out of all the planets in our solar system, Mercury and Venus are the only ones that don't have moons.
Here I come.
Oh, here's a cool fact. Did you know that if you like this video and subscribe to the channel, more people will get to hear all these cool facts? Give it a try. These days, the internet has helped us keep much better historical records, but over the course of human history, it's estimated that 97% of all history has been lost. Cell phones have come a long way. The very first cell phone took 10 hours to charge, had a battery life of only 30 minutes, and cost over $10,000. There are a few places in the world that no plane is allowed to fly over. One of them is the Taj Mahal. In 1994, Archbishop Desmond Tutu gave the country of South Africa the nickname the Rainbow Nation to encapsulate its multiculturalism. In fact, there are 12 official languages spoken there. Dogs are really intuitive. Studies show that they can even tell when a person is untrustworthy. If they don't trust you, they won't listen to your commands. The human ear stops being able to hear sounds that are below 20 Hz, but the body can still sense them. Those frequencies are called infrasound. 18.98 Hz is known as the ghost frequency because it's theorized that it is the frequency at which the eye vibrates. If loud enough, the frequency can cause you to see things that aren't there, and it can give you a sense of unease. Spooky. The land mammal with the biggest eyes is actually the horse, at around 2 inches in diameter. In fact, the only other animals with bigger eyes are whales, ostriches, and seals. 8th grade science exams can be tough, but in Ketchikan, Alaska, they're an adventure. Those 8th graders are required to take a 2-night survival trip to an uninhabited island for their final science exam. Antarctica might be stark and incredibly cold, but under the surface, there are more than 138 dormant volcanoes that could become active at any moment. Sometimes science can get a little silly. Two men, one in Spain and the other in New Zealand, using precise latitude and longitude, found points at the exact opposite sides of the Earth. They each put a slice of bread down on the ground at the same time and created an Earth sandwich. Don't tell Galactus, the eater of worlds. If Earth's ozone layer ever disappeared, it would only take 6 minutes for all of humanity to melt in the scorching heat. Studies show that owning a cat can reduce the risk of heart attacks and strokes by more than a third. Gold is an incredibly malleable material. In fact, you can make a wire that's 2 kilometers long from just 1 gram of the precious metal. Ever hear that drinking milk helps build strong bones? Well, a study that followed 72,000 women for 2 decades found that drinking milk did not help in preventing bone fractures or osteoporosis. Nikola Tesla was a brilliant inventor, and he theorized about many of the technologies that are reality today. For example, in a letter in the October 26, 1901 issue of The Spectator, he said, "Someday, men and women will carry a wireless telephone as commonly as today we carry a card case or a camera." That was nearly 100 years before we had cell phones that could fit in our pockets. Did you know that software and electronics companies actually hire hackers to find flaws in their systems? For example, Apple paid $75,000 to a white hat hacker who found 7 security vulnerabilities in Safari. More languages are spoken in Papua New Guinea than any other country in the world. The 9 million people there speak about 840 languages. Our brains are fascinating. Human brains can process 11 million pieces of information every second. Our conscious mind, on the other hand, is only aware of about 40 to 50 pieces of info a second. The first photograph of Earth from outer space was taken on October 24, 1946. When you order a pizza for delivery, sometimes it feels like it takes forever to arrive. If you were on the planet Venus, though, the atmosphere is so hot that it could cook a pizza in just 7 seconds. Our blood moves pretty quickly. It only takes a red blood cell about 20 seconds to travel around our whole body. You might think that sloths move slowly, but one of the laziest animals in the world is the male koala, who sleeps about 22 hours a day. The light from the sun takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth, but the light from the moon, because it's much closer, only takes about 1.3 seconds. Speaking of the sun, if sunlight is so warm, then why is space so cold? Well, that's because there isn't much material in space to absorb the radiation. On record, the oldest woman to give birth was Maria del Carmen Busada, who was 66 when she had her twins in 2006. Horrifyingly, the youngest confirmed case of pregnancy was Lina Medina in Peru, who became pregnant when she was only 5 years old. She gave birth to her child in 1939.